A congressional report says the meatpacking industry was aware that normal plant operations during the pandemic posed an undue risk to their workers. The House Select Subcommittee investigated numerous meatpacking plants and their COVID-19 outbreaks, including at Smithfield Foods. And as KELOLAND's Don Jorgensen reports, the report says lobbying led to watered-down safety recommendations.
According to the new report, during the first year of the pandemic, workers at Smithfield and several other plants saw at least 59,000 worker infections and at least 269 deaths driven by COVID outbreaks. In mid-April, the number of COVID cases at Smithfield Foods in Sioux Falls had quickly climbed, forcing the plant to shut down operations. That's when the president signed an executive order designating meat plants as critical infrastructure in order to keep them open so the U.S. wouldn't suffer a meat shortage. But according to the Select Subcommittee's report, meatpacking representatives and their executives were aware that the nation was in no danger of a meat shortage. For example, on April 12th of 2020, Smithfield CEO Ken Sullivan issued a public statement admonishing the closure of one of its plants was pushing our country perilously close to the edge in terms of our meat supply. Then, just 3 days later, Smithfield asked their industry representatives to issue a statement that there was plenty of meat. When discussing Sullivan's statements about the meat supply, meatpacking industry representatives described it as intentionally scaring people. The North American Meat Institute says that the report distorts the truth and ignores steps companies took to protect workers. KELOLAND News reported in August of 2020 when Smithfield began a partial reopening in early May under CDC guidelines and the South Dakota Health Department, it began screening all employees for fever, installing physical barriers on the production line, and amending the employees' dress code to include optional masks, which were later required.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration fined Smithfield $13,000 for failing to protect employees from exposure to the coronavirus.